You have survived every one of your worst days on this planet. If you're here and you're listening to me, you know this to be true. I know that when you're going through a particularly difficult time, that's kind of hard to hear, but also it's super powerful. You have survived all of your worst days on this planet. What power lies behind that? It is actually kind of what got me out of bed some days is that, you know what? I've survived all of my worst days. Hi, welcome to Say More Words, a podcast that was created to emphasize the human experience through stories. I hope that you come here to learn, to expand, and most importantly, learn how to say more words. Speak your story, speak your truth, boo boo. We're so happy you're here. Hey, hi, how are you? Don't let the Christmas mug fool you. It's not Christmas, but I just love this mug. So, welcome back to Say More Words. It looks a little bit different. You're coming live in my bathroom. If you are listening to this, I have my hair up in one of those wrappy things after getting out of the shower. I decided that this episode's going to be a get ready with me episode. I just realized I don't have a song of the day. What's my song of the day going to be? You know what? Friday by Gorillaz. I am always behind on the not always behind on the music trends, but sometimes. And I have just been bumping Glorilla for the last week. She's my jam. So Friday by Glorilla. Anyways, so that's the song of the day. Back to it though. I wanted to do a Get Ready With Me episode, partially because I grew up where I went to college in the early 2000s. And one of the things I miss most about going to college, one is like living with 1,000 people, but two was getting ready with my friends to go out that night. Like there's just nothing quite like the conversation that happens when a group of women are getting ready to just go out on the town. Like it's just the best. I miss that feeling. I miss that experience. And, you know, me and some of my girlfriends, we still get to do that. Like we have all these galas and things like that we have to go to. So we still get the experience sometimes, but not all the time. And today's episode topic just really leans well into a Get Ready With Me episode. So you're going to get ready with me. And I am not a TikToker, so I'm like not going to try and put my makeup on while looking in this tiny little camera thing. But I'm just going to get ready with you and talk to you as if we are two friends getting ready to go out in the early 2000s. We'd be bumping ridiculous music. Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have picked a song from the early 2000s, like Sexy Bitch by Akon. We bump crazy music that made you feel really good, made you feel really attractive. If you need a playlist, I'm going to drop it in the show notes. I have a playlist called Revenge Hot Era that I play when I'm not feeling my best, and it just really psychs me up into being like, you know, my very best self. Anyways, today's topic is all of the things my people have been saying to me that I have previously said to them. So if this is the first episode you're listening to, the last couple months of my life have been chaos. I've lived a lot of life. I've had a lot of loss. And by a couple of months, I mean 6 months. Like 6 months have been crazy. And I am so very thankful that I have created a troop of what I am now calling my minions who have who I've had the opportunity, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity to walk through difficult times with them. Whether it was of grand stage or small stage, does not matter what size the difficulty was, I've had the opportunity to walk with them through those difficult times. And because I had the opportunity to do that, here's the really cool part about being a really cool human to your humans, is that the right people for you and the right people in your life will show up for you after you've shown up for them, or even if you haven't shown up for them, even or in a hard time. Like it's just so very important to understand who your people are. And I had a mentor once who said, that her name was Stacey James, and she said that you have to find people in your life that can sing you your heart song back to you when you've forgotten the words. Simple, profound, powerful. And so I have had the opportunity to walk through life with a bunch of people hand in hand. And now it was, my turn to experience some life. And they showed up and showed out. They showed up when I stopped talking. They showed up when I couldn't breathe. They showed up when I couldn't eat. They did all of the things. Anyways, during that time, though, I can't tell you how many times I said, please stop me. Don't Tamika. I am uninterested. Or like they'd say something to me and then side eye me to see if I caught the fact that what they were saying to me was something that I would say to them. So I want to tell you some Tamika isms today that I got spouted back at me from me. Number one, if you've not had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with me, you will. I will give you that opportunity. I have quips and phrases, and my number one is gang gang. And it is an all-inclusive phrase. Gang gang, let's go. I had my good friend Chelsea explained it like that if you are having a hard time understanding what you use the phrase gang gang in, it's just say let's go after. And people would say it to me about like, gang gang, let's eat, or gang gang, let's go somewhere, or hey, gang gang, let's shower. It is just an all-inclusive word that gets people moving. It just gets you moving. So that was one of them. Another one that I could not stand, but also really love, is that it won't always be like this. You're going to get through it. One of the hard parts about what I'm doing right now, fun fact, is I have a really hard time putting things close to my eye and talking. Anyways, for those of you who are listening to this podcast, I apologize. I'm not watching the video. I am trying to put mascara on. A little natural vibe because the kids are home from school today, so we don't need to put Fifi and Fiona, which are the names of my fake lashes. We don't need to put them on today. Anyways, um, one of the phrases that I love that is super powerful, but also like when you're going through it, it can be kind of like meh, is everything is figureoutable. It is a super powerful, actually, affirmation that I heard from somebody, and I adapted it and took it and ran with it. Everything is figureoutable because it is. Sometimes we get so trapped inside of our heads and so lost in what is being presented to us in the current state that we can't function. We can't move on. And we forget that truly everything is figureoutable. You have survived every one of your worst days on this planet. If you're here and you're listening to me, you know this to be true. I know that when you're going through a particularly difficult time, that's kind of hard to hear, but also it's super powerful. You have survived all of your worst days on this planet. What power lies behind that? It is actually kind of what got me out of bed some days, is that, you know what? I've survived all of my worst days and I'm going to continue. And even on my last day on this planet, while it will be sad for others, it will not be for me. Okay? Because I am of the belief that there is another wonderful place we go. And so, like, even then, even if that is a hard day, it won't be the worst day. So, but that was something that was repeated to me continuously. You've survived 100% of your worst days. Let's see. All of it was like really encouraging. And it was really kind of cool to have people really show up in a really encouraging way and say like, these are the things that you say to us, or like, you can you can do it. If you can plan it, you can do it. That's what the last couple weeks have been as we move into a new season of life and a new season of understanding. And happy 2025, or whatever time period it is for you that you're listening to this. But you can do anything with a plan. You truly can. You can do anything with a plan. Let's see. Um, oh, look at you. You're not just a pretty face. I don't know why I started saying to people, but it's funny. It's one of those things that when we get stuck in really like confusing times, or you're trying to figure something out, or you're like, I should know this. I am a human. I am an adult human. It's just like one of those phrases that just it makes you laugh. Like it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it does make sense. You're not just a pretty face, but it's just kind of funny. So you're not just a pretty face. Sometimes we have to be reminded of our power, and sometimes we have to be reminded of our power in a really funny way. I like to think that that's one of my superpowers. And I talked with my aunt once. I went through the, let's see, 2022 and 2023 are like my generational years, where in my own personal development, I was learning more about the generations before me so that I could, stop repeating some of their patterns. And my aunt said, even from a small kid, like if there was a situation that was really, really hard, or people were having a hard time, if my parents were fighting, I would just start cracking jokes, or I would do something to distract people and make them laugh. I believe that if you can get back to laughter, you can get back to understanding. We get so stuck in the noise and the reality and the muck of everything that sometimes it does take a huge jolt to make us realize like maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not, and I'm not saying that we don't have hard times. Hear me, right? I'm not dismissing your feelings. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we can get so bogged down on the meh that we forget that like life can actually be really good. Life can be really fun. And that sometimes it just takes a reset. And I find that laughter is a really, really great reset. I have passed that character down to my son, because if there's any ounce of tension, he's about to do something weird. He's about to do something weird, make you laugh. And it makes me so happy. So not just a pretty face, bring it full circle, is one of those things that just makes people laugh. It also reminds them that they have true power in their beauty and who they are as an individual. And that is also super fun. I've had the opportunity to have the human experience with so many different humans. And by the human experience, I mean connection, love, understanding, conversation, experiences, all of that, right? All of the things that make us human. I fully believe we weren't meant to be born and go to work and die. And so I am just all about the human experience, and I've had the opportunity to just be surrounded by beautiful individuals who have taught me things that I didn't learn from my house and I didn't learn from school, and just more about the human experience. All of that is coming up in my book, which will be out later this year, called Shit Your Mama Never Told You. And I am just so pumped to put this out to the world. So I'm having a really hard time trying to make sure that I'm not telling you stuff from that in this podcast, and just truly like things that people said back to me. Oh, one of my favorite things to tell my children is you're the best human in the world. So I say it to them so much that, on the Mother's Day things, that when they say, like, what does your mom say all the time? My kids write that. And it makes me cry every time, because it's just so ingrained in me. I do truly believe they are the best human in the world. And I say it a lot. I say it a lot out loud. And that was one of the things that Frankie, my daughter, would repeat back to me when I was having a hard time. You are the best mommy in the world. You're the best human in the world. You're the best person in the world. She would say those words to me because she knows that those make her feel better when she's having a hard time. And she would say it right back to me when I was, ugh. Such magic. There's simple phrases and simple quips of things that you can just hold in your back pocket to tell yourself and to tell the people around you that really does make a difference. Like it really does enhance your human experience. It's just a simple everyday reminder that you are doing good and you can continue moving on. Everything truly is figure outable. Life is, while hard, like the human experience is so complex and it's so hard, but here's the deal. We can't have good without bad. We can't have hard without soft. We can't have laughter without sadness, or even happiness without sadness. We can't, everything has an equal and equal opposite, because if it didn't, the good wouldn't be that good, and the happy wouldn't be that happy. And um it's all a part of it. It is all a part of it. So all that's to say, let me try to think. Those are the major hitters, right? Like gang, gang, we can figure it out. We can go. This is it. Everything is figure outable. You are not just a pretty face. You are so capable. You are the best human in the world. You can figure it out. Everything's figure outable. You can figure it out. I'm trying to think. Now my friends are going to listen to this episode and they're going to be like, hey, you forgot this, you forgot this, you forgot this. So maybe every now and then, maybe not 15 minutes of get ready with me, but maybe every now and then we'll have a Tamika's quirks, things that you can put in your back pocket that give you that power up, that oomph. I keep telling people, I don't know why I'm in like a video game era of my life where I keep using video game quirks, but I keep looking every day. Every day, one of my friends said the other day, he goes, every day get 1% better. And for me, it's not 1% better. It's every day look for that extra power up in the video game of life that's going to get you from point A to point B, that's going to make you a little bit faster, make you a little bit softer, make you have more fun, make you find and experience joy, because life is good all the time. And now I'm going to end with the number one quip that I everyone said back to me over and over and over again, because I say it to them, and that is, love you, mean it. Yes, I do. I love you and I mean it. You are a powerful human, and I'm so happy you exist on this planet. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy to be back. I am just ready for a very prosperous year with you all. Together, hand in hand. Make sure you go. I'm supposed to tell you these things, and I consistently forget. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a review. That helps us reach more people in the podcasting world. If you could follow us on at Say More Words Podcast on Instagram, and you can follow me on Instagram as well as at the Tamika Taylor. I'm excited for a year of growth, of magic, of redefining joy and redefining your strength. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next week on Say More Words.